Good to have you back on the show. We've got a decent little action here for some of the China stocks. Even after getting slammed this morning, Baba was down quite a bit. JD's now positive. What's going on?
Hey, e-commerce is back. China's actually showing that they actually have some momentum. Singles Day proved to be a hit. We're talking almost 60 to 70 billion dollars coming in on the commerce side in China in general, and that's some positive news given the downturn that's been going on in China overall. And Alibaba pretty much showed that there is still a lot of momentum in Singles Day. And when you look at the size of this, I mean, this is bigger than Prime Day, and it's bigger than Cyber Monday combined.
So you see some love for Baidu lately after their earnings. You and I have talked about that. JD also started off the session negative, now positive and just sitting near the high. So are we seeing from Baba that the comeback in some of the China names is based on real economic strength, that there really is going to be a healthy consumer despite all the bad narratives we've heard about what's happening there?
I think there will be, especially as we get into the holiday season. I mean, Singles Day is the big deal. And then, of course, Chinese New Year's, Lunar New Year's, that's coming up in February. It's that gap in between to Christmas is what we're going to be watching carefully, especially on the retail side. But we think that it's not as bad as people have been projecting. I'm not thinking it's going to come back. I believe that it's just not as bad. The deals that they pulled out all the stops for Singles Day. And so the question is whether there's any room left for Christmas and right before the Lunar New Year.
Is there a new high post Jack Ma in store for Baba? You think this thing's going to keep running, Ray?
I think so. We actually forecast 198 for them in terms of their stock. We think that's really because they are a digital duopoly in their space. There are not that many competitors, and especially when they're a multifaceted business. It's more than just commerce. It's banking. It's entertainment. I mean, the streaming showed you exactly the power of bringing those two together. It's their ad network. It's also what they're doing with other areas. So if you think about them as a technology, consumer tech company for China, them, Tencent, Baidu are still pretty good plays.
Okay, so if we've got now a mix of a strong, or rather stronger than expected, China consumer, what about the other unloved names too? Are you still going to see more strength in Baidu? Is it enough, Ray, or do we need to see continued strength on the fundamental side? Because this company's had a little bit of a struggle and the earnings still weren't great, but we've got a lot of analysts coming in saying to buy them now.
Yeah, I think that what's happening right now is there aren't too many plays left. And what people are realizing is the three big winners are, it's just like betting on the FANG stocks. If your China play is really about betting on a FANG equivalent, it's been the BAT stocks, which is Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. These have been in growth mode. They've had some dips, but really when it comes down to looking at infrastructure. Now, if you're afraid of going straight on into this, then you'd also look at JD.com, which is a great play as well. To cushion the blow, because a lot of people work with JD to get entrance into the China market, especially if you're not working in the Alibaba network or Tencent network.
Hey, Ray, one last quick point before we let you go. There was still escalating tension between Hong Kong and the mainland over the weekend, but that didn't seem to really, early this morning, it was putting a lot of stocks under pressure. How is that factoring into this? Do we need to think about geopolitical problems in China outside the trade war?
I think that the Hong Kong issue is actually a very separate issue. It's an issue really not about democracy, but more really about economic opportunity in Hong Kong. And I think that's going to be a drag for quite some time. But I think the market's already priced that in, as well as priced in as this China trade deal might come into multiple phases. We're going to see multiple phases of tariff reductions, tariff escalation. I don't think that's going to change. I think the issue will be resolved once we get past the 2020 election.